The following program is produced entirely by the television production students of Southeast High School, in partnership with Kaiser University, and by the medical experts at Intercoastal Cardiology of Sarasota, and by the financial advisors at Mott and Associates in Bradenton.
We have a district rivalry night as the St. Pete Lakewood Spartans invade the Seminole Nation in the early regular season game of the 2016-2017 campaign. The Noles are currently 1-0 in the 6A district, while the Spartans come into tonight's game having won 2 district games against no losses. My name is Paul Meckley, and I will be describing all of the action in tonight's contest. Sitting next to me is my partner, Greg Alexandria, and he'll be giving you the color. Greg, this is an exciting night for these two teams because this has been one of the best rivalries in the area between two fine basketball teams, the Lakewood Spartans and the Southeast Seminoles.
Absolutely, sir. We know that the road to district runs through St. Petersburg. You got to get across that skyway and see one of these two teams and really put together a good game in order to make it to that district championship. So it'll be good to see what Coach Floyd Watkins has and how his team is stacking up. A little larger squad than we've seen in previous years. I think he's got 15 players. Players are above the 6'3", 6'4" mark, so it's going to be one of the biggest Southeast teams we've had in a few years.
Coach Lawrence from St. Pete Lakewood is a veteran of the hardwood in St. Petersburg, having played in St. Pete, and he is joined on the coaching staff by another veteran of the hardwoods in Pinellas County, and that's David White, who played at Bogosiega. Both of David's sons are playing tonight, and in conversation with them, we find that one of his sons, Jalen White, is a sophomore, averaging 19 points a game. While the Seminoles are 1-0 in district competition, St. Pete Lakewood's coming off a 72-70 victory against Bayshore just the other night.
The other night, they went to Bayshore and walked away with a 2-point win. From what I understand, Bayshore has a very competitive team this year, and I was talking to Coach Floyd Watkins before the game. He was there scouting out both teams because he'll be playing them both several times this season, and he was surprised at how competitive the game was, specifically the growth in the Bayshore team.
Well, I know that anytime anybody's able to hang with the Lakewood Spartans for a score of 72-70, that sets the Bayshore Bruins up for a pretty good season, I would think, as we know, because last year the Southeast Seminoles did something that hadn't been done in a very long time, and that's win not only 2 games against them in district competition, but then in the tournament came and won the 3rd one, which was a big milestone for Coach Watkins and his program.
Had a few seniors on that have gone on to play at the next level with my son Trey Alexandria, Ronald Taylor, Corey Davis, Anthony Bryan. They're all playing community college ball right now in junior college, so it's good to see them at that next level, but you're taking that away from the squad. It took them a couple years to put it all together. They finally ended their campaign with the district championship, and it felt really good to go into those gyms up in St. Pete and walk away with several victories last year.
I can sure understand that, having been the athletic director here and gone up there many a time and not come away with those victories, so it was good for Coach Watkins. He's got some thoughts on tonight's game. Earlier this week, Devin Stewart, sports editor of SETV, sat down with Coach Floyd Watkins, and he told Devin what can be expected out of tonight's game. So here's Devin with that interview in this week's edition of Seminole Coaches Corner, brought to you in partnership with our good friends at Mott and Associates, financial planners located in Bradenton, Florida.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the Seminole Coaches Corner, brought to you in partnership with Mott & Associates, financial planners located in Bradenton, Florida. I'm Devin, sports editor for SETV. Tonight we're broadcasting our first boys basketball game of the 2016-2017 season. Our Noles are playing host to district rival, the St. Pete Lakewood Spartans. And with us today is head coach of the Noles, Floyd Watkins, to give us some insight into tonight's game. Hello, Coach. Welcome to the Coach's Corner.
Hey, Devin. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. So, first of all, we're very early in the season. What can we expect out of the Noles this year?
Yeah, we're definitely very early in the season. We lost a lot of experience last year. We do have a new collection of players, but many of them are seniors, so they have a lot of pride. I feel like we'll be very exciting to watch, very competitive, and we're starting to gel now, so it's going well so far.
Awesome. That sounds fantastic. Very optimistic outlook, I presume. But for tonight specifically, we're playing district rival, the Spartans, as I said. What can we expect out of tonight's game?
I believe it'll be a very hotly contested game. It's for first place in the district, and we are the defending district champions. So this year we have the target on our back, so a lot of people will be gunning for us. But at the same time, we want to come out and play the best of our ability and put ourselves in a position to repeat, perhaps. And there's a step in that direction, one way or another. We'll have an idea of what we have in store for us the rest of the season based on tonight.
Sounds like a great game. Can't wait. Well, thank you very much for talking to us today. It was a pleasure to have you.
Good seeing you again, Devin. Thank you. All right.
That's it for this edition of the Coach's Corner. We've been brought to you in partnership with Mott & Associates. And now, back to Coach Meckley and Greg Alexandria on the mics. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back to John Hodder Court at the on the campus of Southeast Seminoles. We are ready for tonight's ball game. As we examine the Southeast starting lineup tonight, we notice that the Southeast Seminoles are led in scoring by two individuals. Cedric Brooks comes into the game with the leading scorer for the Seminoles with an average of 14.5 points. Amin Marshall is at 14 points, and Alex Taylor is the next leading scorer with 9.8 points per game. When you look at those scoring leaders and you compare them to the ones that the Lakewood Spartans have, they'll bring in a guy by the name of Tyrese Hurst, who's averaging 22 points a game. Jalen White averages 19, and Mateo Brenson averages 11. So there seems to be a little more firepower amongst the top three scorers for the Lakewood Spartans than there is for the Southeast Seminoles.
Yeah, I know that Tyrese Hurst, number 0 for the Spartans, he was their starting point guard last year, so he's somebody that's game tested. We've got some people that are stepping up for the Seminoles this year, with Alex Taylor coming off of a successful football campaign as a starting quarterback for his first year, and then having Amin and Cedric adding a little bit. They were big bench contributors last year. You remember we were broadcasting one of the games where Ced came off and had maybe, 4 or 5 3-pointers off the bench. He caught fire. I believe he's doing some of the same things right now. 25 points the other night when they played against Manatee. So it's good to see the maturity and how they're raising their games up. Hopefully it'll continue tonight.
With this being the first week in December, the boys basketball season is still early for both squads, and to have as big a district game as this is early in the season will be a good test for the Southeast Seminoles and the Lakewood Spartans.
Typically Coach Washington, when he was here, because there were so many football players that came out, wouldn't have a lot of the big district games until later on in the season. So to have a big district contest against your rival, it's going to be big tonight.
As we rise for the playing of the national anthem. As we look across the way at the Southeast Seminole bench, we do see that that bench is a little large, and they may have to go get a few more chairs because when all 15 of them are standing there, there's not enough chairs. So five of them better come on the court.
There's going to need some extra chairs, absolutely. You know, the keys to the game tonight, keys to winning for both squads is going to be how hard you hustle for the 50-50 balls, rebounding, and free throws. You know, free throws have been very important in the losses Southeast had. When you look at rebounds, if they can control the boards and keep the bigs from the Spartans in check, they could look at a winning score at the end of the game.
Being introduced right now are the Lakewood Spartans. They are coached by Anthony Lawrence, who played basketball at Gibbs High School, correct?
Yes,
and up in St. Petersburg. And David White, the assistant coach, had played at Bogosiega, but they're both doing a good job over here now coaching for the Lakewood Spartans. First person being introduced for the Seminoles is Cedric Brooks. He's the leading scorer for the Seminoles, averaging 14.5 a game. Alex Taylor is a junior. He's coming off a football season where he played quarterback for the first year. This year for the Seminoles, Alex is averaging 9.8 points a game. Alex is 6'4", one of the larger kids on the Southeast squad. And rounding out the lineup is senior 6'3", number 32, Truxton Broadhead. He's playing varsity basketball, I believe, for the first year this year for the Seminoles.
New kid to me. Like to see what he's going to bring to the table. Good frame, pretty big. Saw him in warm-ups.
The other boys that are starting for the Seminoles this evening are Camaris Isom will be one of the guards, and jumping center for the Seminoles will be number 23, Jonathan Bennett. Bennett is a 6'4" senior. And the referees this evening are from the Gulf Coast Basketball Officials Association, stepping into the circle to begin tonight's action.
So, Coach, when you were the head football coach, how'd you like to have a 6'4" quarterback to see over?
That was kind of interesting. We did have that once, and he ended up being pretty good in Adrian McPherson.
That's not a bad name to throw out here.
No. Southeast started the game getting the tip and had one turnover on the game, and Lakewood Ranch came down for its first basket. Spartans take it inside. Nice move underneath there by number 10, Brinson. He gets his first 2 points. He's the third leading scorer for Spartans, and he starts out the game with a good basket for them.
They're going to have to settle down. 2 turnovers to start the game, giving up an easy layup and a rebound. Not the way that coach envisioned this start.
With all those seniors graduated last year, this is a rather young squad, only their 4th game of the season, really, and they'll be tested here tonight against the Spartans from Lakewood. Looks like the Seminoles are employing a zone defense. As the Spartans get it inside, up and over the top. Basket there by Adrian White, his first basket of the evening.
A little too easy for him to be able to elevate in the paint like that, uncontested.
Isom has the ball. Looks like he's going to run the show. Looks like we're getting another zone defense here this evening. As the Seminoles are working the ball down in the corner, a bad pass. It's recovered by Alex Taylor. He puts up a long-range jumper, no good. Bruxton gets the rebound, and unfortunately he loses it to the Spartans.
Contested 3 turnovers to start the game off. May need to see an early timeout. Coach said he uses more timeouts this year than he ever has in his career. He calls them interventions.
Jalen White got the ball for the Spartans, took it underneath the basket for a layup. He was fouled there by number 23, that's Bennett, his first foul for the Seminoles. At the line is Jalen White. Jalen is a 6'5" sophomore. I believe he was the young man that jumped center for them. Good tall kid. He is the son of the assistant coach there, David White. Second free throws up and also good as the Spartans are off to a 6-0 start. on the ball game. Isom finds the ball across to Brooks, who takes it over to Bruxton. Back out in front, a long-range jumper's no good. Spartans control the glass. They got a 2-on-2 fast break, and they bring it back out.
Good recovery by Alex to stop an easy layup.
Hurst with a long jumper, no good from the three-point range, was no good. And unfortunately for the Seminoles, the ball went out of bounds on that long-range bomb. Spartans are putting up a little three-quarter court pressure here to make Southeast work a little faster and harder than they probably want to work.
Now on this press, the way that the Spartans are rotating, Truxton scores. You can get a nice pass inside if they keep their head up.
It's a good play by Broadhead to get the first 2 points for the Seminoles on the board. Lakewood takes the ball inside right to the hoop against the zone defense that Southeast is employing, and we get a foul on the Seminoles, and going to the line will be Christoph Scarborough, a 6'7" center for the Lakewood Spartans.
Now I'll tell you, that's just late rotation, not a lot of communication between Alex and I believe John Bennett. And you know, John's one of the newer players on the team, so in order for them to be successful, especially when you're playing that zone, you got to have a lot of communication. Somebody's got to be the director of traffic on the defense.
Scarborough's second free throws up off the rim, and we get a rebound there by Isom. He gets it up to Alex Taylor on the left-hand side, and unfortunately Alex is being double-teamed, gets it into the corner, which isn't the best place to have the ball. They're going to bring it out and set it up as the Seminoles are surveying the situation. Cedric Brooks over to Alex Taylor, up with a jumper off the back side of the rim, and a rebound to the Spartans.
You know, in a zone coach, you got to make sure that you swing the ball, make the defense work. The faster you move the ball, the less dribbling you do, the more open shots you're going to see. You got to let that ball go with two of your teammates ahead of you.
Yeah, you can't take it in there and throw up some wild shots. Fortunately, Lakewood turns the favor and throws it out of bounds. I don't know if you, Greg, if you had a chance to see Wisconsin play against Syracuse the other night.
No.
Oh, you want to watch a team play against the zone defense. Syracuse was running the zone, their favorite 2-3 zone, and Wisconsin did a great job.
Well, that's something that Coach up at Syracuse has been doing his entire career, and that's the reason why he's won the staff for the USA Basketball to help with those zones. They don't do a lot of zone in the NBA, so to bring up the college coach and to have him, there's that first time out, the first intervention.
I can see why Coach would want to do that. The pace has probably gotten a little bit faster than he would prefer at this early stage in the game. For the third year in a row, Mott and Associates Financial Planners are industry partners at SETV. Mike Mott, founder and owner of Mott & Associates, is a graduate of Southeast High School and a proud Seminole. For nearly 30 years, the Bradenton-based Mott & Associates has been dedicated to providing the most comprehensive and personal process-driven financial services available. We'd like to extend our thanks to Mike Mott and his team for helping support the television students of Southeast High School.
I'd like to see what we run out of this timeout. It's important to get a score here. You don't want to be in a double-digit deficit this early in the game.
Southeast has probably been getting pushed a little bit faster. Probably the first time they've faced the zone defense in this early in the season, as most teams tend to play man-to-man. You can see we're having some trouble with the long arms that the Lakewood Spartans are touching a lot of passes. By my count, that's the fourth turnover in the first quarter.
Yes, sir. Cardinal rule, don't leave your feet to pass.
Hurst up with a long-range bomb off the back of the iron, no good. Broadhead down with a shot, puts it up, and we got a goaltending call. That's Truxton Broadhead is the only guy to be on the board for the Seminoles, as he's got all 4 Southeast points.
I'll tell you, David White's son, Jalen White, the leading scorer, or second leading scorer for the Spartans, he was at the square on that.
Yes, he was.
And that is an aggressive take.
There you saw Bennett going up to the rim to try and,
Scarborough.
yeah, Scarborough, the long 6'7" center, is going to be at the line. Shooting 2 as he was fouled in the act of shooting.
Well, I'll tell you, if you get an opportunity to go to the line, you really got to make the most out of those opportunities, and to leave points on the board. It's tough for any team. Right now, Coach Watkins has said it's been the Achilles heel this early in the season is the free throw shooting. It looks like it's going to be the same thing for Lakewood.
Truxton Broadhead got a good rebound there. Amin Marshall has just checked into the game, and he's the second leading scorer for the Seminoles as Alex Taylor gets underneath, and he takes the ball back up for a shot and is fouled in the act of shooting. He'll go to the free throw line with 2 shots. There you see the ball go up, and Taylor comes down with the rebound, fakes up, and gets fouled in the act there by 23. That is Scarborough, his first foul.
Great use of the pump fake by Alex. Strong, aggressive, going after that rebound, knowing where he is, didn't spin too far under the basket. You need to see more of that from Mr. Taylor. He's got that football season under his belt, so that should add to the toughness, and he should be the heart and soul of this team. Did see him line up as one of the captains.
Again, Lakewood is off in their basket. Taylor pulls down a rebound as Brooks comes across the line, takes it all the way to the basket, puts up a shot that was contested by Lakewood, and we got a foul in the backcourt on Alex Taylor, I believe.
If that's Alex, that's going to be his second.
That was a tough call to be playing around with the ball in the backcourt like that. Probably would have been better served to just get back down and play defense.
Yeah, I'll tell you though, to see Seth Brooks attack and take the ball to the rack, it's a little different than what we've expected from him last year. The most prolific three-point shooter on the team.
Kamaris Isom came down with that rebound for the Seminoles and was attempting to go coast to coast as he goes in up against the taller individuals there for the Spartans. Picking up a foul is Adrian White. That's his first personal. The team fourth foul for St. Pete Lakewood. Both teams are a little cold tonight, Greg.
That foul shot is got to be something that teams really take a little more caution when they go up. Think about it as being 2 easy points. Take a breath, step back off the line if you missed that first one. Knock down the second one, get this game a little closer. And that's another 2.
I believe that's 3 that we have now missed in the first quarter. That's a mighty fine little basket there as Jalen White takes it to the inside and goes all the way to the basket. Ill-advised pass there by Amin Marshall as he was trying to get the action going a little bit faster for the Seminoles. Long-range basket, no good, as just checking into the lineup there is Devin Logan as he came off for the rebound.
It's another football player that's coming out to play basketball. He got moved up from JV to varsity last year towards the end of the season and actually gave a couple of good minutes. Slicing his way through the defense is Amin Marshall for 2, trying to make up for the turnover that he gave.
Southeast still employing a zone defense as Lakewood moves the ball inside and then kicks it back outside where Hurst hits his first three-pointer of the evening and gets into the scoring column for the Spartans. Southeast showing good poise, moving the ball around very well and get the ball to Marshall where he finds the green light real quickly as he's already got 5 points and is the leading scorer for the Seminoles. with 1:18 remaining in the quarter.
There's a lot of hands down on defense. That's allowing the Spartans to shoot uncontested three-point shots, and then when they take it into the paint, they're not being challenged. The challenge comes late, it's going to be a foul. Nobody on that.
Twice.
2 times. Not touched on that board. No box out.
As a result, a basket underneath there for the Spartans. Turnover by Seminoles, but we go back and get another turnover.
Jump ball on that call. A lot better than what it looked like it was going to be, but the Spartans are going to maintain possession. Got a couple of subs coming in. Keon Birch, number 11, is going to be taking over one of the guard spots. And then we've also Jarvis Henry with the 0-0. Both seniors.
44 seconds remaining in the half. You can't let them get the ball underneath there, but we did. Fortunately, the ball is missed, but we're losing those scrap balls out there. You were talking about 50-50 balls, and there's a good case where we didn't get that 50, that one. You can see the battle underneath.
Number one, it's too easy on that inbounds pass. The defense was set up, ill-advised, and all you can do is come away with a foul at that point.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they get the ball back out of bounds again, and there he got him. He had position that time. Isom worked his way around and kept it away from the bigger kid, number 15, Mitchell. We're pretty fortunate that Lakewood's a little off in their shooting here this evening.
If they're knocking down their jump shots, this is going to be a double-digit lead easy. The reason that we're losing right now is what we talked about in the beginning of the game is going to be the rebounding and the foul shots. You know, add that with the turnovers, and it's a recipe for disaster.
Quinn Birch brings the ball up the court and kicks it over to the middle to Marshall, who probably traveled, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I know he doesn't think he did, but I think he probably did shuffle his feet a little extra.
Get a little happy when you're wide open. Looks like coach is going to go to his bench again. We got number 10, Kevin Banks, coming in. He's going to take over one of the guard spots and give Seth Brooks a rest.
14-10, the Spartans are on top against the Southeast zone defense. Maybe Southeast can keep bothering them before they get a shot at the end of the half. They got it out in front pretty far. 4 seconds remaining, and he's throwing up a long-range jumper, no good. And there we have the end of the first half with the score. The Lakewood Spartans 14 and the Southeast Seminoles 10. We're proud to announce that Kaiser University of Sarasota is once again a business partner of SCTV. This is the 12th year that Kaiser has supported the television production program of Southeast High School. At Kaiser University's Sarasota campus, you can get the training you need to pursue a new career in the fields of business, criminal justice, education, healthcare, information technology, law, and much more. They offer associate, bachelor's, and graduate degree programs. Their Sarasota campus also offers a culinary arts and a baking and pastry program. You can find out more about what Kaiser has to offer simply by going to their website at kaiser.edu. Well, 14-10, the Southeast Seminoles are in the ball game at the end of the first quarter. Coach Watkins got to feel pretty happy about that.
Very fortunate to be down only 4 points. You look at the turnovers and the disparity on the rebounding, missing the foul shots. You know, to be down by 4, they put themselves in a good position to make this a competitive ball game. Coach is going to stick with the same lineup that he had before the break in action.
They get it inside to Bacon, who throws it back out to Marshall, who puts up a left-handed three-pointer that rims and comes out.
You know, after missing a shot, instead of complaining about it, you got to get back and play defense. A lot of the younger players don't understand that you get your energy from the defensive side of the ball. If you can work hard on defense, offense will be very easy.
Lakewood moving the ball inside and outside to try and find that open shot against the Seminole defense. They put it out there to number 15, who puts up a shot, and the Seminoles get the rebound off the glass. Was Henry. Gets it over to Birch. Quinn Birch running the show out front now, back to Marshall. Now Marshall's going to go to the top of the key. Also, the Southeast Seminoles are against a zone defense being employed by the Lakewood Spartans.
Well, the way both teams are shooting, I don't blame the coaches for letting them sit back in that zone and daring them to knock down those shots. The only difference is that Lakewood is playing a little more aggressive on the boards as Kevin Banks comes down with one for the Seminoles.
And neither team shooting lights out in this ball game against these zone defenses.
You know, Coach Lawrence is about to bring his starters back in, so hopefully we'll have an opportunity to stay aggressive. And looking at Keon Birch going in, that's a football player. Bump in another guard.
Yep.
Didn't do much on him, right?
Nope. Lakewood moving it around inside to get it to the middle. Back outside to the three-point line, up with the jumper off and nothing but air. Amin Marshall pulls down the rebound. He's going to go fast for the Seminoles up court. Underneath to Henry, loses it out of bounds.
Yeah, he forced that one.
Yeah.
Two people on you, you've got to know that one of your teammates is open. It's got to be really frustrating when you see a senior making a play like that. He's trying to force the issue, get his team back in the game, but he's got to understand that that pass is too close with too many people, too many variables for a mistake in that instance.
Yeah, there comes a time when you're coming up the court and, you know, you got to decide to pull it back or take it all the way, and unfortunately that would have been a good time to pull it back for the Seminoles.
Getting our first look at number 30, Chris Calathea, as Jalen White knocks down a three from the top of the key.
He is the second leading scorer for the Spartans, and on this tonight he's already got 7 points in the contest as the Spartans extend that lead to 17-10. Boy, when Lakewood spreads their arms out, they got some length up there. Calathea gets the ball underneath the basket, and he's fouled in the act of shooting. He'll go to the free throw line and shoot two.
Now, Calathea's only been playing basketball for a few years. He is a member of the Southeast High School band. 6'7" is a great find in that drum section. What I'd like to see is for him to let that ball go, because if the referee doesn't call the contact, that's going to be a turnover by not releasing and traveling.
Chris Calathea makes the first free throw out of the two. Next one is off the rim, and we have a lane violation, it sounds like, against Southeast. And the Spartans will come up with several of the starters back in the lineup. Standing out there at the top of the key now against that zone defense are the two leading scorers, Hurst and White. Hurst gets the ball back over on the side to Bennett. Back over to Hurst, who gets to the free throw line with a sweet jumper and up and good.
Gets his zone, you got to move the ball, make the defense work, and attack the gaps. And that's what their starting unit for St. Pete Lakewood has been able to do. And they're starting to increase their lead back up by 8.
That was Tyrese Hurst's 5th point for the Spartans. He's the second leading scorer tonight for St. Pete Lakewood. Marshall on the left-hand side gets it back out in front to Birch, who tries to penetrate and throws it back out to Marshall, who puts up a quick shot. He's got a pretty quick release. Fortunately, that one didn't go down for him, but Birch maintains.
Not sure that the St. Pete crowd agrees with that, but there was a little more contact than necessary, so Keon Birch is going to be going to the line.
When Q Birch gets the ball, you can just about anticipate that every 1 out of 2 times he's taking it to the glass.
He is an explosive athlete. He hits the seams and the lanes in basketball the same way that he does hitting the hole in football, so you like that about him. Just want to see him to be a little bit more under control.
That would be the bottom line.
Knocked down that shot, so we got a positive possession out of it.
Calathea with the
rebound.
off the glass, no good. and it'll be the Spartans to inbound in the backcourt.
Now that was tipped, and it looked like Banks had an opportunity to get that ball, Coach. What do you think?
Yeah, that was one of those 50-50s that didn't seem to want to go after too hard.
You don't want those plays to come back and haunt you in the fourth quarter.
Southeast is sure harassing the Spartans with this zone defense and making them pass the ball around and not getting the easy shots. And as soon as I say that, they got a young man that throws up one. That's Brinson, Mateo Brinson, his 4th point. He's the 3rd leading scorer on the year for Lakewood. Ooh, that was a bad decision to try and split the defense by Marshall. And it cost the Seminoles as Hurst made the layup.
Marshall got away with one there. He had a couple of instances where it could have been called for a foul in the backcourt. Hopefully he understands that if you make a mistake, the best way to get rid of that taste is to have some effort on the defensive end. That's 2 turnovers in a row.
And that gives us 7 so far in the half. That was a good box out there by Marshall.
He's got to
But he's
dribble
got
with
to
his
know when
head
to
up.
stop.
He's got to dribble with his head up. 3 turnovers in a row. It's not a good opportunity. That's great ball movement. He ran the floor well. And then you got number 10, Mateo Brinson, easy dunk.
Brinson's now got 6 points for the Spartans. They get their hands on a lot of balls, Greg.
Absolutely. They're active. They know that they can harass, and they feed off of their defense.
Nice pass underneath. Shot is up, no good. Calathea battles underneath for the board, and Seminoles Banks comes out with it back out to Marshall, who throws up a long-range jumper in and out. Banks is doing a good job fighting for the Noles underneath. Calathea with a little jumpers off the back of the iron.
You know, Calathea is so young when it comes to basketball that any other player that's a little more seasoned would have seen that hole and had a great opportunity to maybe get that dunk back. Unfortunately, the way that he's just so young when it comes to the game.
Yeah, you need the experience to know that I could take that to the hole instead of taking that little 8-footer.
And I think he may be a little shy. He did break his wrist last year in practice dunking, so once bitten, twice shy.
Ferguson Presume taking the ball down, challenges the Spartans, and we get a foul on the way. That foul is going to be on Jalen White. That's his first personal. Going to the line for the Seminoles will be number 3, senior, 5'10" Ferguson Presume.
Now Ferguson is lined up as one of the captains early in the game, so you've got that senior presence. Maybe he can come in and settle down the team.
Greg, I know this little story about him. Ferguson was a freshman, and he did not make the JV team, and I remember seeing him the day after he got cut on campus and talking to him about sticking with it and working hard in the offseason, and it's paid off as now he's a member of the varsity his senior year and getting a chance to be a captain.
Second year on varsity for Ferguson. Ferguson's got a lot of effort, just needs more time on the court. Seth Brooks with a rebound, looking to attack, slicing, dicing, and getting an opportunity to go to the line.
That'll be Seth Brooks going to the line for his first 2 free throws of the night. Looks as though the Seminoles are looking to find somebody that is going to take control of the game and perform at a pace that's going to be good for them, not good for the other team.
Yeah, you don't want to get hurried, especially when you're uncomfortable and you're not sure who is going to be the best decision maker. It's a great sign. You got Seth Brooks knocking down 2. I think that's the first 2 we've knocked down in a row from the foul line.
Southeast trails by 9 points with 1:25 to go. Their defense has been forcing the Spartans into long-range jumpers, and that's a real long one by Adrian.
Hurst.
That was by Hurst?
Yeah, that's Hurst, and I'll tell you, you don't want him to get started. Calathea in the middle. He's got to look at imposing his will and and doing a little damage in there. He's getting good looks. Oh, that's a travel.
I would have thought so, too.
Good recovery by Alex Taylor for the block.
Calathea gets the rebound. And Taylor sees, oh, no, that's not a good pass. Trying to go a little faster than we probably need to. Ooh.
And a foul on the baseline where he had nowhere to go. That's absolutely a bailout.
That going to the line now for the Spartans will be Adrian White. He'll have 2 free throws coming. With 35 seconds remaining in the first quarter, Southeast is down 28-14.
You know, varsity has got a lot of juniors and seniors. With all the juniors and seniors on the team, you got to remember they're still very young when it comes to game and varsity and being able to be in these situations. I mean, this is a tough rivalry matchup for some of these players.
You know, and they, as a students of the game and knowing the tradition and the rivalry between these two, both squads are jacked up to play one another, and sometimes that causes them to be a little bit out of sync in what they would normally do on a Monday to Thursday practice.
That could be absolutely true. That's Alex missing
there was
one.
a great example. Alex putting up a shot that he probably didn't need to take. Them coming down and Lakewood getting 2-point tap in there by, I believe that was number 11 on the glass. And we don't have his name in our program here.
Last second shot, futile attempt to try and get this lead, cut the lead down a little bit. You don't want to go into the half down double digits. Unfortunately, that is where we are, but we told you the blueprint to the game. It's going to be rebounds, it's going to be toughness, it's going to be 50-50 balls and free throws, and right now we're not putting up good grades in either one of those categories.
You can't do anything about experience except put them on the court, and when coach has got a bench of 15, you can see he's looking to find the guys. And right now, the search, I think, is still going on in the locker room at halftime. That's the end of the first half with the score. The Spartans from St. Pete Lakewood 30 and Southeast Seminoles 14. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll be back with our very own Mike and Mike show. You're watching Seminole Basketball on SETV Sports.
SETV is proud to recognize Mott & Associates as an important partner of the Television Career Technology program of Southeast High School. Mott & Associates is one of the premier financial advisory firms in the Bradenton-Sarasota area. The association is made even more special because Mike Mott, president and CEO of Mott & Associates, is a graduate of Southeast.
Mott & Associates is very proud to be a supporter of Southeast High School and SCTV, especially the fact that I am a Southeast alumni. When my wife and I started our financial planning practice more than 33 years ago, one of our visions was to support the local community in which I grew up. As a lifelong resident of Bradenton, I am very proud to call this area my home. Today, we serve hundreds of local residents in a variety of ways, including financial planning, tax preparation, tax planning, retirement planning, and many more facets of a holistic wealth management firm. We choose to work with and support the dedicated team of students at SETV because of their commitment to and their drive toward excellence, and they're doing a great job. And good luck to all the Southeast High School athletic teams and that special team, SETV. Go Noles!
What would you do to become a better athlete?
Traffic signs. Traffic signs that we see every day. Traffic signs that protect our children to and from school. But a traffic sign cannot stop a moving vehicle traveling at 20 miles per hour. It only takes a split second of distraction, a cell phone, a cup of coffee, to render a traffic sign useless.
Necessarily better than ever.
No, I don't think so.
No, not at all. I'm Mike.
I'm Mike.
Mike Sanders, Director of Television for Southeast High School, and
Mike Brooks, and I do a lot of things around here.
all over the place. Wow, is the microphone loud? As you can see on the screen, our competition cheerleader team is headed out there to do something that they're going to do tomorrow as they enter a competition for cheerleading at the Florida State Fairgrounds in Tampa tomorrow.
That would be really cool to go up and watch, but I'm not going to.
No, it would be really cool. Oh, I was really worried. That we were not going to have a female to talk to tonight. And here she is, Marlene. Come on, you're going to sit down and you're going to talk to me, girl. Come here. For the last 3 shows, we've had some wonderful, it's working. She just laid it down and banged it on the table. I'm going to put it on your ears.
That's true.
All right, now you're going to come over here close to me. This is Marlene Vinson, senior extraordinaire for the Seminole Lady Knowles basketball team. Give me camera 8. There she is. Wave to the audience. Marlene had a little accident this last week, didn't we?
Yes.
What did we do?
Got in a car accident.
And wait, let's get this microphone up there by your mouth. There you go. Okay. Remember, act like you've had television for 3 years. Okay. So tell us about the accident and to show the audience your arm, because you're on television right now. The whole world, including Japan, is watching.
There might be 10 people out there.
There might be. So, all right. So tell us about your accident.
Well, it was a 2-way lane, and we were going one way, and they were going the other way. And they wanted to turn left, and instead of stopping, they just turned right in front of us. And I seen like we were about to hit them, so my best friend slammed on the brakes. And I reached over to like try to turn the wheel so we wouldn't hit them, but then the airbag just popped out and just broke my wrist.
So it's broken.
Yeah.
You done for the year?
I'm not sure yet. I'll find out Thursday.
Do you know if you're going to need surgery yet?
No, I don't need surgery.
Okay. Is it breaking your heart that possibly you're done with your basketball career at Southeast?
Yes, it is.
It's breaking ours, too.
You played a great game here.
Thank you.
The other night, and really, really sorry. It's broken my heart. Of course, it's broken Harder's heart more.
Yeah.
Coach John Harder, Hall of Famer, Lady Knowles basketball. So are you going to practices?
Yeah, I go to practices in the room because I'm still the captain of the team. So.
And working on the motivational thing for all the young girls.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so sorry to hear that you have done this, but maybe we'll cross our fingers and hopefully you'll be back later on in the season.
Yes.
Okay? All right, take it off. Go show the cheerleaders. They're much better looking than any of us. Thanks, Marlene.
Okay, you're welcome.
Take care, hon.
There
we go.
Here we go. Cheerleaders.
Cheerleaders, much better. Isn't that horrible?
You know, it's awful. And, Marlene, the only senior on the team now, and the real spirit leader for the team. And, it's tough for John Harder. He's had a lot of breaks.
And so is she.
And I guess so is Marlene, at least in the rest.
Well, she was the only one that was returning from the state qualifying team 3 years ago.
It was the hopes of John Harder to have a team to die for this year. And those kids, those sophomores, went to states. I mean, they got beat. But they went to state. And then they all went someplace else.
Yeah, they just kind of dispersed.
Anyway, what do you think about the weather outside?
I think that the weather is absolutely phenomenal. And if you're listening to us up north, it is cool. It is lax humidity. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing.
It's gorgeous outside. I mean, it's never that way here in Florida, and it's here.
It's why we live in Florida in December and January
That's right.
and February and the first part of March.
So for the folks up north where it's snowing, realize that I might go to the beach tomorrow.
Firing.
Is it forest firing?
It is forest firing up north.
That's not good.
Oh, they're having very, very bad things. You know, why don't we get some closer shots of these wonderful cheerleaders? Get somebody work. There we go. See, I knew you guys knew how to run the camera. Oh,
And now they're done.
too late. Poor timing. That is
that was
our
unfortunate.
wonderful president and executive producer of SETB with her lack of timing. Wave at me, Johnny.
You're mean.
Wave at me, Johnny.
You're mean.
She's not waving at me. I know she can hear me, too. So, how you been? How was your Thanksgiving?
You know what? I had so much fun over Thanksgiving. My brother was here. My niece was here. For the first time in I don't know how long, I didn't host Thanksgiving meal.
Wow.
And so it was done at my son's house, and he took care of it with his wife. And you know what, it was kind of fun just to sit back and relax rather than worrying about how many things are coming out of the oven.
Do you realize how fast this quarter goes, this halftime goes?
You know what, this is a very fast-paced game.
And they're not, well, no. I'm talking about it's time for the real talents to come back already, and they are nowhere to be seen.
And you know what?
There's Mr. Meckley.
Our viewing audience is saying thank you.
And to get rid of, we have a lot more time in the halftime, the football games. But nevertheless, Coach Meckley is here. We're waiting for Greg.
We're going to turn it back over to a PSA. And,
we're about to run the video of the opening if Greg ever. And Greg was even assigned to get Mr. Meckley back to this table on time, and here he comes strolling up a little late.
Okay, well, we're going to leave, aren't we?
Gone?
Well, yeah.
Can we go home?
No.
Oh no. Kids have to put all the stuff away
Yeah.
after the game. Well, let's hope it's a better half for the Seminoles in the second half. So, get ready to roll the video and roll the video. Thanks, everybody. Have a great second half.
Well, we're just about ready for the start of the second half of action here at Southeast High School in the Ben Buzz Narbut Gymnasium on the John Harder Court that was dedicated several weeks ago in honor of longtime Southeast Seminole Lady Knowles basketball coach John Harder.
Hall of Fame coach John Harder,
Hall of
right?
Fame coach John Harder. We have a score of 30-14. This is the SETV network. We're broadcasting tonight the district game between the Southeast Seminoles and the St. Pete Lakewood Spartans. If you notice down there on the bench for the Southeast, we did get 3 extra chairs.
Yes, there are 3 extra chairs without the Southeast name on it, but they're there and they're being used. You got a lot of length on that Southeast team, but they're not using it the same way that the Spartans use their length. The Spartans are very active, hands up in the passing lane. They're tipping a lot of passes, making it very hard for Southeast to get into some kind of continuity. Coach was laying into them during the halftime speech because they just came back out with about 30 seconds before the game is about to start.
Well, I think we saw in the first half the inexperience of the Seminoles. There were frequently trips down the court where guys that were coming in right off the bench wanted to get into that scoring column almost before they were on the hardwood.
You can't do a heat check when you're absolutely cold. You got those fresh legs. You're coming into the game and you're launching up threes. You don't have the rebounders that are going after the ball aggressively like they should be. It's a recipe for disaster, and you got to really think, where does the senior leadership come in? Who's going to take control and really help steady the ship?
Well, that's what we're going to hear to find out, and that's what you do is you coach and coach and coach and try to find improvement in your squad by talking to them at halftime and by seeing in different combinations of people going into the lineup. There was a pretty good example of what we were just talking about as young Delvin Jackson just came in the game for the first time, got the ball in the middle to him, and he right away had to exert his enthusiasm and try and get a basket.
Let everybody know he's out there.
And got a turnover, and fortunately Lakewood returned the favor and brought the ball back to the Seminoles.
Last 2 turnovers to start the game. Steal back by Alex.
That's 4 turnovers.
That's both the White brothers. That's a pretty big, big jump. He's an athlete. If you look there, Alex goes in, trying to avoid the contact, and we got 2 points. Was that Amin?
Amin Marshall, yes. He got 2 points in there underneath, and that gives him a total of 7 for tonight as he's the leading scorer for the Seminoles. Nice play by Alex Taylor. Those are good hands.
You read in that defense, making sure that you keep your hands active and your eyes open. Said turn down a looky to 3. Trying to get from a good shot to a great shot. Dalvin Jackson with a little up and under move. Gets his hand back on the rebound.
Another basket. Oh, this is looking ugly right here. Yep. Saw that coming from a ways away.
He looked off 4 other players. It was a 5-on-0 fast break, and he decided to keep it and give it a little showtime.
I don't know what happened to our point. There we go. Cedric Brooks puts up his first 3. Maybe this will be the beginning of that hot streak that he had the last time you and I sat down and did a broadcast last year.
I'd love to see him open the floodgates right now. You know, this is an opportunity to see Coach Watkins at his coaching best. And he's got to do a lot of coaching with this squad. You know, the last couple of years, he's had something of a luxury with 2 4-year varsity players with Trey Alexandria and Ronald Taylor, and then a 3-year varsity player in Corey Davis. So having those 3 very competitive players was a luxury for the program. So we're going to see the coaching medal of Mr. Floyd Watkins this year.
At the foul line is Jalen White. Jalen is a 6'5" sophomore. He is the son of former Bogosiega standout and Florida State standout as a football player, David White. Second free throw is up off the back of the iron. And we got a lane violation against the Seminoles. Don't need that.
Not at all. I'll tell you, the White kid, he's an outstanding, explosive athlete. You don't want to give a scorer like that too many times to find his range.
Coach Watkins has replaced Alex Taylor in the lineup, and he is imploring the Southeast Seminoles to demonstrate a little more poise on the court and a little more patience with the offense as we got a offensive foul.
Yeah, Dalvin decided to move a little bit on that screen. I mean, it's a good thought, but you can't push your body up on him.
That would be his second personal in this half.
It looks like they're moving Jalen to the point guard position.
Yeah, he's been bringing the ball up once, and then he and Hurst have usually been switching as they work against the Southeast zone defense.
Playing conductor out there, directing a lot of traffic. They're picking their spots, trying to see what's going to be the best shot.
In the corner, drive is up and no good. Blocked there by Southeast. Hurst's shot was rejected.
Well, the good thing is that was a foul on the pass and not a foul on the shot. Whoa, they're giving them 2? That's a terrible call.
At the foul line is White, who has now made 3 free throws and a jam in the first 3 minutes of the half, and we got a timeout being called by, I believe, the Southeast Seminoles.
Floyd's seen enough.
Yeah, he was having a long conversation there with Alex, and I think the rest of the team's getting the latter portion of that experience. How did you phrase those timeout conversations?
Interventions. Floyd was notorious for not using all of his timeouts, and before the game he let me know that he actually has to use every one of them. He goes home with no timeouts because it's a lot of teachable moments, and you want to stop the bleeding sometime. You want to give your team an opportunity to take some of your knowledge and apply it, but when you have to call timeouts this quickly in the half and you don't have an opportunity to get stops right after you had that halftime talk, it's a little disconcerting.
And as a coach, you would probably like to rewind and show them immediately and call more timeouts than the 5 that you get in each basketball game when you have a team that is as young as the Southeast Seminoles. Dr. Rick Urier and his family are once again industry partners of SCTV. This is 8th consecutive year that Intercoastal Cardiology has supported the television production students at Southeast High School. Through their undying dedication, the Uriers, as well as Intercoastal Cardiology, has created many outstanding opportunities. Lakewood missed their free throws, and the ball went out of bounds. Last touched by number 3, Jalen White. It'll be the Southeast Seminoles ball to inbound as the ball went off of White, as you see him crashing into, I believe, Bennett.
He is an aggressive, explosive athlete. You like to have those players on the floor. How do you guard somebody like that, Coach?
That's a challenge. You better get a body on him. Whoa, how about that steal? Oh, that's going to be bad news.
You know, it means bringing the ball up, and it's unnecessary for him to go behind his back the way that he goes. Maybe it's part of his dribbling routine, but I've always been told the quickest way between 2 points is a straight line.
Cedric Brooks eyes a shot from three-point range, gets it back to Marshall, and Marshall's in and out with that long three-pointer, and the rebound comes down to Adrian White, who gets it over to the forecourt for the Spartans. Lakewood on top, 37-19. As
Someone's
they move
out of
the ball
position.
around, and they're going to get it all started up.
Lakewood's taking their time. They're moving the ball around. They're trying to find the openings. That was a well-defended shot.
Yeah, Hurst went up and tried a little wilder than he probably needed to do, but Cedric Brooks challenged him inside there for the Seminoles as he gets on the board for the first time this half. Gives himself 7 points for the Noles.
As big and as tall as number 23 is, Mr. Scarborough, he doesn't block a lot of shots or change a lot of shots.
He does have some long arms, so there's no doubt. Bennett from Southeast is doing a good job as we got 23 matched up against 23, and there's a good case in point. We got a foul probably underneath there on Marshall.
Do you think the players of today understand what that 2-3 means?
No, I was just thinking about that. No, I honestly don't think they know.
I'll tell you, Coach, when you watch the development of the game, one of the things that threatens the survival, especially of American basketball, is how AAU is designed. You got a lot of players putting together super teams. They're playing a lot of games. They're doing a lot of workouts and drills, and some of these kids have personal trainers and personal basketball coaches, but they're not playing the game enough.
That's what I've understood. Somebody else told me that, went through that with me a couple of weeks ago talking about basketball. And
probably Coach Elliott Washington.
I think it was. I do believe it was. We were sitting here watching a volleyball game, and we brought that discussion up.
When you think about basketball growing up, especially how it's played, I grew up in New York, and the way that I learned how to play was on the playgrounds, getting beat up by the older players, and the old guys telling me all I could do is rebound and pass until they knew they could trust me. They taught me the game. These players aren't being taught the game, and we got a call up top that's a little controversial.
Ced Brooks is convinced that he did a good job blocking this pass and that the guy charged into him, but unfortunately he did leave his feet, and that's a recipe for disaster oftentimes.
He stands his ground. He's got a great opportunity to get that call, but when you jump up and you don't stand your ground, you're going to lose out that battle every time, especially at half court.
Spartans from Lakewood inbound the ball with a lead of 38-21. Southeast looks like they may have switched their defense and are maybe going to they were playing a little man and they decided to go in trap, and unfortunately we got a timeout called maybe?
No. Oh, he did. He did get the timeout.
Yep, Anthony Lawrence from The Spartan bench, the head coach said timeout as soon as he saw that double team coming.
Well, you run that half-court trap as a surprise, try to catch the other team off balance. So when they did that, you got the desired effect. You got to be a little quicker trying to take the ball out of the hands of the opposing player. At that point, veteran coach like Anthony Lawrence, he's going to get that timeout, especially right in front of his bench before any disaster happens.
3:13 remaining in the third quarter. Southeast finds themselves down by 17 points. Still looking for the continuity and the leadership to kind of possess the ball into an offensive pattern of selection of good shots and elimination of turnovers are the two things that seem to be plaguing the Noles so far this evening.
And he's trying to find out by going to his bench. He's got 15 players over there. He's plugging away, trying to put people in place to see who's going to give us that continuity. A couple of players that we haven't seen since the first half. Jarvis Henry is out. Devin is back out. A little helter-skelter right now.
Yeah, a little man-to-man is shaking up the Spartans a little bit and forcing some wild throws and some. They get it in the middle to, ooh, that's interesting. Got it in the middle to their big guy, the 6'7" Christoph Scarborough, throws one up off the glass. Usually have to say bank, don't you?
If you don't call it, but working at a bank myself these days, it's 24 hours with online access and ATMs.
So, okay, so in other words, what you're saying, it was open.
It was open.
Uh-oh.
That's a 5-on-1
This
fast
is going to
break.
be closed right here. The dunk doesn't seem to have as much explosiveness tonight as with the crowd. Maybe that's because we're not getting it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's not Corey Davis going up there.
Ced Brooks drives it inside against Bennett, and Bennett is called for a foul. Ced Brooks will walk up there to the free throw line. He'll get two more.
Well, he's added another dimension to his game, and this is the most I've seen him put the ball on the floor. If you look, he eyes that three, swipes and goes, and this is just where you have to figure out, do you want to stop and pop that little jumper, maybe give a floater. Some different looks will get him into scoring position. If he knocks down these foul shots, you're going to get the desired effect, though.
Back into the lineup for the Seminoles is Truxton Broadhead, and another newcomer to the Seminole hardwood tonight, I believe, is Juan Claudio. Basket is good free throws up and good by Brooks. That gives Ced Brooks 9 points and a steal, and unfortunately, recovered by the Seminoles, but Brooks misses on the shot, but we got a foul on the rebound.
Would Keystone Cops date us?
I might.
It might. Okay. We'll take that one back. You got players hitting the ground. I don't think it's wet.
No.
Out of position. Good thing about that is Ced was able to get 2 rebounds out of the play. But when you have a 3-on-none fast break, you got to walk away with 2 points.
Yeah, they didn't. Oh, man, there's some pushing and some elbowing going on underneath there, and as a result, we do finally have a foul called on the smaller guy.
Looks like Truxton didn't appreciate how close the proximity of the other player was and wanted to clear out some space. Unfortunately, it happens at an inopportune moment.
For Jackson, that's his third personal. St. Pete Lakewood's got a number of their non-starters performing in the second part of this quarter here, and it looks a little ragged on both ends here. Oh, there was a good example of inexperience as the Noles tried to inbound that one before the referee had a chance to touch the ball.
And I'll tell you, this is the point of the game where you've got opportunities. You got to take the best shots. Ced Brooks being one of the returners from varsity. He's got to know this is his time to shine.
Wow. That was a very athletic play by number 11, who's the young man that's not in our lineup, so we can't give you his name, but boy, he took that to the hole like he meant business. Just as Truxton Broadhead did for the Seminoles to get his 6th point of the evening. Southeast putting on a little full court pressure here.
Everybody's out of position, though. You shouldn't chase the ball as much. You got to be in position.
Another basket by an unidentified Lakewood Spartan. Number 50, though, he's got some good size in the middle. Broadhead with a nice job of getting the ball underneath to Delvin Jackson, who missed it. Who said Brooks probably got away with one there. Oh, boy.
We got a 10-second call. Wow. I'm impressed. I haven't seen one of those in years.
I don't think I was going to see one there either because that was pretty fast, 10 seconds. 25 points on the board for the Seminoles. Unfortunately, 47 for the Spartans from St. Petersburg, Florida, Lakewood High School. And Ferguson Presume throws up a prayer to end the third quarter with the score 47 for the Spartans, 25 for the Seminoles. Dr. Rick Urier and his family are once again industry partners of SCTV. This is the 8th consecutive year that Intercoastal Cardiology has supported the television production students of Southeast High School. Through their undying dedication, the Uriers, as well as Intercoastal Cardiology, has created many outstanding opportunities for Southeast students. We'd like to extend our utmost gratitude and thanks to Dr. Urier and the medical professionals of Intercoastal Cardiology of Sarasota for their committed support of Southeast TV.
Now, I'll tell you, you got to look at, as sloppy and as ugly as this game is, what can you take away from it as a coach? Well, number one, it's early in the season. You got another chance to go back up to St. Pete and get some revenge. Maybe you can win in a hostile environment, but, you know, with it being so early in the season right now, Coach Watkins has to be saying to his coaching staff, let's find out who can do what. Let's put them on the floor and remember what positives we get from each contributor.
And the most important thing is that the next time they take the court, to be an improved basketball team.
You want to get better every game.
Every time you get on the practice court or the game court, you want to be an improved player and an improved team, and that's what he's looking at now. As we see Presume guarding White. It's a little mismatch there. Broadhead back in the lineup. Oh, that was a nice quickness there on the little pressure out front. Forced a turnover. I'm not thinking that's the best play there to take that.
Yeah, he missed one. Maybe two people that were ahead of him, and he got to the rack. Unfortunately, they called it on the floor. No, they're changing it and sending them to the line.
There was a day when we did a fast break drill that was 3-on-2, and you were told to stop at the free throw line.
Point guard stops at the free throw line, surveys the land, draws the defense, and dumps it off. It should be a nice play.
But said Brooks took it to the rack and he managed to get 2 free throws out of it. Did the same thing as if he had done it our old way.
Now,
Southeast
if you look at the
is
defense,
scrambling, but they got way too many guys on the ball and not enough covering underneath. Oh, geez.
Truxton was totally out of position and under the basket, and the problem is that they're scrambling, and someone is out of position. At this point, I think on that possession, it may have been Claudio.
Tough pass there by Presume as Jalen White got his long arms up there and snared that pass. A long shot is up and no good by the Spartans, and Jackson pulls down a board for the Seminoles. I knew that was going to the basket.
He hadn't taken a shot yet, so you know he needed to.
No.
Got to play it down.
Claudio went to the hoop on that one from a mile away.
Yeah, Claudio saw an opportunity to get himself a shot attempt. Kevin Banks hit the ground a little hard, and he's going to get that foul call. It's good to see the kid get up. You got the trainer over there taking a look at him. He hits that back, and that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, he came down on his tailbone from midair there. That was not a comfortable landing. Claudio has the ball underneath and tries to challenge a guy that's about 5 inches taller than he is.
Oh, you can't spin back into the defense. On the floor.
Southeast Seminoles scrap for the ball.
2-on-2.
Ced Brooks takes it in, leans his body into the basket or into the defender and makes a shot. And here we got 4 guys scrambling in the backcourt, and we get a foul called on Ced Brooks. I believe it's his second foul of the evening.
They got to understand that if they are all in the backcourt, and you've got 4 of – that looked like a replay of the end of the quarter when Presmay was able to get a shot up and try and cut into that lead.
Yeah, you can see that the Southeast is, in a desperate situation here now, down 20 points with 6 minutes to go. So Coach Watkins is putting on a full court pressure, but it seems as though we have 4 guys in the backcourt and only 1 guy from 3/4 to the back, and that's not a good sign.
Once Lakewood realizes that, they're going to be able to dissect that, and they're going to leave one of your teammates stranded down there. It's going to be real tough to watch. So hopefully Coach Watkins, Coach Powell, or Coach Gilmer were able to see that sitting on the bench and make those adjustments, because it's great that you want to scramble around, but you still got to be in the right position. You got to have good spacing on offense and good spacing and help on defense in order to be a successful basketball team.
At the free throw line is Adrian White, making the first of a bonus situation. Now he gets a second. Misses, and rebound comes down to the Seminoles broadhead. And Q Birch is back in the lineup, and he's going to attack the middle and do what he does best, take it to the rack.
Now that's 4 seniors out there right now, so you're sorry. Ced Brooks is only in 11th grade, but you've got him surrounded by seniors. If you can get some good spacing, you may be able to open up a couple of jump shots for Ced. He has had some success taking it in. Q Birch is on the foul line. This is the first of 2.
This is his 4th free throw attempt. Has all been by way of taking it to the rack. Makes the second one.
Now let's see if there's an adjustment on the press. They're flying around, but you got one that's loose. They drop down. Now you got to get back into your defensive set.
Foul called on Quinn Birch, I think.
Could have been a little bit of a travel at that point, but when you're down by that much and you're scrambling around, referee is more likely to call the foul than they will call a travel in that instance.
Free throw by White is no good. He's having a rough night at the line. He's made 1 out of 5.
He's one of their top scorers. It's got to be uncharacteristic on what's happening, but maybe this is his swan song. He's trying to keep himself in the game a little longer.
Birch gets the ball over on the side to Brooks, and Brooks throws up a 3. He's definitely the high point man for the Seminoles tonight. Southeast puts on that full court pressure, and unfortunately the ball gets by. Good play by, Broadhead. Did a little acting job there.
That was a tremendous flop. If you catch that one on YouTube, NBAs, they call that Shaqtin' a fool.
Coach Watkins kind of disagrees with it, but he was a little bit early on the falling down. Birch taking it up to the hole, passing it back out. Quinn Birch fakes a jumper, from the three-point range. And in the land of the long arms, he is diminishing returns when he gets in there. Ced Brooks up with a long shot, in and out 3 times. Birch putting up the rebound. He's going to go.
That's one thing you're going to get from Birch. You're going to get that football hustle. Being a little closer to the ground than everybody else, he has an advantage. He takes advantage of that.
Yes, he does. And when he's playing the game on the 100-yard field as well, he takes advantage of it. He had a very nice long touchdown run against Cardamone this year when we played against him.
We call that a low center of gravity, right, Coach? He knocks down the first one.
Yep.
Got a new player in the game, Damian Salazar. That's number 20. He's another one of the backcourt mates for Q Birch.
Quinn Birch has had 6 free throw attempts this evening as he keeps battling throughout the time when he's in there, trying to get the ball down inside against the bigger bodies.
You like that aggressive nature. You'd like to see it a little tempered a little bit and maybe saving himself some of the knockdowns that he gets. That wear and tear in your body is not going to be good through a whole season.
Southeast double teams the ball, and quickly Jalen White is able to handle all that pressure and get it into the forecourt.
Coach went back to a mixture of starters on the St. Pete Lakewood side.
And we get a little turnover.
Juan had to think about, did he want to advance the ball? Ends up getting to the line, close to the end one.
Juan Claudio is a 5'11" senior guard, stepping to the line. I believe playing varsity this year for the first time, or was he on the team?
First time varsity, transferred to another school across town, came back, has an opportunity to make an impact on the team. You know what is going to help is how hard the team practices. If they can come together and practice and have a few good practices in a row, maybe they can erase the thought of this district loss and give themselves an opportunity to get back in the winning column.
Spartans from Lakewood in St. Petersburg entered tonight's contest with 2 victories in the district. Southeast only had 1. Southeast was able to defeat Dunedin. The Lakewood Spartans had victories against Bayshore and Tarpon Springs. 2 teams, the Seminoles, will be in combatant nature later on in the season.
Yeah, it's a tough district. You know, it's one of the strongest districts historically when you look at basketball in Florida. Coach Elliott Washington and I used to talk about all the time, if anybody is going to get to the state championship game, usually it's someone that comes through this district.
Yeah, that has happened frequently, boy. It is tough sledding underneath there for both teams, with bodies flying all over the court. Salazar enters the game and gets his first personal foul there. Going to the free throw line is number 0, Hurst, who gets his first free throw of the evening.
Now I'll tell you, this is the point of the game where you're going to have to be disciplined. The most disciplined team is going to come out with the victory. It's 4 minutes left. Both teams are in the double bonus, so there's going to be a lot of stoppages of play, which could work in the Seminoles' favor if they're able to knock down foul shots.
14th point on the night for the leading scorer, Tyrese Hurst from St. Pete. Salazar looks inside to Broadhead. He brings it back out and turns around and puts up a jump shot that probably was a little ill-advised, and we got a scramble underneath there for the basket ball, and we get a foul called on number 4. That would be
That's
Ced
Mr. Brooks.
His 3rd for the evening. Well, we would take that long walk, which I'm afraid we're going to be doing a little bit more often than we'd prefer in these next 3 minutes and 53 seconds.
Yeah, it's going to be an extended quarter based upon the situation of both teams being in the double bonus and both being a little grab happy. Coaches are screaming for the play to clean up. Referees are blowing the whistles. So I anticipate another 15 minutes or so. What do you think, Coach?
I think we're into that.
We're into that.
Salazar's coming up against the man pressure being employed there out in the backcourt, and he throws it away. Yeah,
you can't go for that home run pass. Sometimes you got to be a little more controlled.
And we got a foul in the backcourt. Going to the free throw line, there was a steal by White there, and he gets clobbered by Claudio, his first.
If you think about that, you got 3 people around White, and I understand he's a sophomore, very explosive athlete, but he's not going to hurt you with a jump shot from back here. You got to get back and try to settle your team down on defense instead of reaching, and that may be the 3rd consecutive foul in the backcourt we've had.
I agree with you, and that again goes back to I got to try and do something. I want to try and do something and make the impression as compared to doing the smart thing and helping the team. You know, you've been practicing all week. You get in the game, and you got to get in the book.
The one thing that players have to understand when you're down by a bunch like they are right now, there is no 20-point shot. I've never seen one.
No. You are exactly correct.
You got to get bucket, stop. And the only way you can do that is to be disciplined and follow your coach's game plan. If you don't follow your coach's game plan, you're going to look at a lot of lopsided scores, and you're not going to appreciate the side that you're on. As Q Birch knocks down another foul shot, he goes to the line. He's increasing his percentage.
He's 6 for 8 tonight from the free throw charity stripe. Well, that pressure by the Knowles defense got it to turnover, and down 20 right now. Birch coming across the line again and gets another trip to the foul line, I think. Oh, no.
They're going to call a push-off on him.
Truxton, Broadhead. Maybe?
Yep. No foul shot on a play control foul.
Yep.
They called the push off on Birch. Used his arm guard.
There's a good steal and a good loss and a recovery.
You got to look up. Seth Brooks has been open for all of 5 minutes.
Oh, no. Truxton Broadhead takes it to the rack for number 8 points on him for the evening, and the speed of play is causing Coach Lawrence over there to put his head in his hands and shake them and call timeout here. Well, no, Southeast Seminoles are calling timeout here.
Another intervention for Coach Watkins.
We're proud to announce that Kaiser University of Sarasota is once again a business partner of SCTV. This is the 12th year that Kaiser has supported the television production program of Southeast High School. At Kaiser University's Sarasota campus, you can get training you need to pursue a career in the fields of business, criminal justice, education, healthcare, information technology, law, and much more. They offer associate, bachelor's, and graduate degree programs. Their Sarasota campus also offers culinary arts, baking, and a pastry program. You can find out more about what Kaiser has to offer simply by going to their website at kaiseruniversity.edu. Well, you can see what we talked about early in the game, that this is the second day of December, and only the 4th regular season game for the Seminoles. And the season is young, and so is the team.
You got a lot of juniors and seniors on the team. You would think it would be a more mature level of basketball, but right now you've got to get some game experience. Best way to do that is to go out there and play. But they have to run their game plan. They've got to listen to what the coach is telling them, and they've got to be more disciplined. Now, that was just a very unselfish play. Number 11, or number 10, that was Mateo Brinson. He catches the ball on the block, has an opportunity to score, and dumps it off to his teammate that's cutting, who ends up going to get an opportunity for a three the old-fashioned way.
Jalen White at the line. He's the leading scorer this evening for the Lakewood Ranch Spartans as he makes another free throw. He's been perfect on the night at the line. Salazar comes across the line for the Seminoles with 2 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in tonight's contest.
Tell you what, he's an impressive sophomore, number 3 is.
Truxton Broadhead throwing up some shots that are going in for 10.
He's got that floater. He's got that floater going. We'll see it a few more times tonight.
Oh, Jalen White with a nice pass and good poise on the catch and the basket by Mateo Brinson, who's got 8 points on the evening. Ced Brooks is going into the basket, I can tell you that right now. It's his time to score.
Mateo had his hands up, and he's thinking, well, my hands were up, and he came into me. But, Mateo, you turn your body. Every time you turn your body, you're going to have a foul called on you. You got to stand there and take it like a man sometimes.
You could sense it in the eyes of Ced Brooks that he was going to get his points on that particular journey down the court. Oh, and then missed a free throw and almost compounded the misfortune by almost fouling, and now we get another foul.
Now, Coach, looking at the score, every opportunity we have to get it a little closer, you see 2 to 3 more inexperienced mistakes.
Completely. And when you talk about the Coreys and the Treys and the Taylors who aren't here, it's evident, and that's what practice and that's what game experience is.
I think that was blocked 2 times, but he did get the foul. Yeah, it's going to come, and it's going to come down to coaching. This is going to be the season where Coach Watkins is really going to have to dig into his bag of tricks, find out which players are going to give him the most positive effects on the floor, and then he's going to have to coach this team up.
Birch missed the first one. That gives him, he has now been at the line for 10 free throws on the evening.
Wow.
He's made 6 out of the 9 right now. So he's going to go for his next one.
And you got to think, he didn't start the game.
No.
And I don't believe he's taking a jump shot.
No,
so that's all going to the rack.
7 out of 10. Ooh.
Wow.
Mateo Brinson on the rebound, puts one in. Birch back down court quickly for the Seminoles. Puts it up, no good, but Cedric Brooks follows it in with 2 more points on the night.
Now, Ced Brooks is matching them basket for basket, but we got to get a stop. You don't get an advantage in basketball until you start playing defense.
Why does it seem that Ced Brooks does not have a lot of points as compared to the last time we did a game, but yet he has 20 on the night?
Reason is because Ced Brooks is found a way to attack. He's added that dimension to his game over the summer. You can see that he's swiping and going with a lot more confidence than he did last year. I don't think he believed in his drive last year. The shot was there, but he didn't have the same confidence that you're seeing tonight. And as you have players like Corey, Ronald, and Trey leaving the program, someone like Ced sees it as an opportunity to step up. The other thing is he's not getting the same easy looks that he was getting.
Salazar found Quinn Birch on the possibility of a layup, but the ball got knocked out of Birch's hands and last touched by Birch. So it'll be Lakewood inbound with 1 minute and 14 seconds remaining in the contest. Southeast has held the margin at the deficit at 20.
You got to understand, when referees are calling the game a certain way, there has to be the light bulb coming on for a player. All right, if I grab, if I'm too close, if I'm not in the right position, they're going to blow that whistle. And all you're doing is just extending the game and giving them another opportunity to score.
That's the 3rd personal on Salazar, and unfortunately 20, yeah. And he wasn't on the starter, but he's come in to hustle around and trying to get the steals for Coach Watkins.
He's only played the fourth quarter. He's got 3 fouls. He's not a bad player. He's kind of confident with his ball handle. The issue is that he's looking for the home run play.
Well, Coach is putting him in the game just like he has everybody else this evening. Looking for a nice pass underneath to Juan, who gets it out to Truxton, who goes up with a semi-floater. Rebound comes down, and Juan Claudio
With another ill-advised
out of position foul. And we'll walk down to the other end. This could be a battle of attrition here between Claudio and Dalvin Jackson and Salazar, as all 3 of them have 3 fouls and not one of them started the game.
One thing that I do appreciate is the foul count doesn't go up above 10, because I can tell you in this game, they're both teams are in the 20 to 25 range with the fouls this half. And there's another one.
Wow. Now we get to walk down to the other end as we got a foul being committed. Stepping up to the free throw line for the Southeast Seminoles, coached by Floyd Watkins, will be Juan Claudio. He'll be shooting one end of bonus. No, by now it's in the double bonus.
Oh, we've been in the
half
double
hour
bonus.
ago.
Yeah, we've been there for a little bit.
Juan hits the first end and gets his name in the book for this contest tonight. This is his second journey to the charity stripe. Nice rotation on that one, gets it in.
Now, Birch seems like he's sneaking up. Let's see if we can get through this possession without a foul.
Now, if they would just hold it, they jacked up one off the side, because that youngster just got in the game and he wanted to get in the books. Ced Brooks eyes up a 3, no good. Ooh.
That's a tough one. You're already out of position. Don't compound it by throwing your body into the leading scorer for the other team.
So we'll go down to the other end. With 25 seconds left here, you see the ball come off the iron, and Jalen White gets the rebound, and there's no need to have that foul. Like
if you look at that replay that we just saw, there was no fight. Lost everything.
There was no
keep talking, you just lost your monitor.
Okay.
Birch is across the timeline here, and with 18 seconds left, Jalen White tries to steal the ball. Fortunately, there was no
I'm
foul.
surprised that he is still in
We now
the game
have
at this
15
point.
seconds remaining in the contest.
Unless he's close to a record, get him out, save him for another game.
And Ced Brooks will inbound, and hopefully we can get through these last 15 seconds without any more technical difficulties and without any other fouls.
Truxton's going to let this one go.
Broadhead goes up with another shot, no good. Rebound comes down to Jalen White, and he's going to just dribble out the game. As the St. Pete Lakewood Spartans win tonight's contest, 68-48. That's the end of tonight's game. The St. Pete Lakewood Spartans will have a record of 3-0 in the district, while the Seminoles will fall to 1 win and 1 defeat in district competition. We'll be back in a moment here with Coach Floyd Watkins. Tonight's game has been brought to you through the sponsorship of Mott and Associates, financial planners. They've been industry partners of SCTV for a number of years. Mike Mott is a graduate of Southeast High School. For 30 years, the Bradenton-based Mott and Associates has been dedicated to providing the most comprehensive and personal, process-driven financial services available. Go to their website at mottandassociatesdot.com. That's Mott and Associates. Greg, we talked about the inexperience of the Southeast Seminoles this year, and it was evident this evening as Coach Floyd Watkins is sitting down to discuss this evening's contest with us. Coach Watkins, welcome to the broadcast desk here.
Hey, thank you, Coach.
It's always a challenge each year. This year is an even bigger challenge because of the people who aren't on your bench at the beginning of the ball games. When you lose guys like Corey and Trey and Mr. Taylor, who had been experienced starters for you for a couple of years, and now you're having to find those people, it doesn't just happen overnight.
No, that's absolutely right, Coach. Fundamentally, at this juncture, we're not only looking for guys who, have the ability to play, but also it comes down to desire sometimes. And I think sometimes when, the confidence is lacking, it shows up. But the biggest thing is to go out and learn, take your lumps, and continue to improve. The good thing about our sport is, it really matters how you play in February, but we've certainly had better nights than tonight, that's for sure.
Well, Coach, looking at the score, throw it out the window. Where do you go from here when you're looking at video, trying to get them better, one practice at a time? What's the game plan?
Well, to trust the system, the game plan remains the same. Many of the problems that we had this evening, they've been there for the year. I think a lot of times you run into situations and those issues catch up with you, and sometimes it snowballs. Coming into this game, we knew that it would be a challenge, and they were 1-0 in the district just like us. And it was up to us to rise to the challenge, and I think experience may be a factor. But also I think learning the systems and being able to stay consistent with it and trusting it is probably, our main goal right now.
Well, I can see that you have spent tonight trying to find the people. And as we mentioned on the broadcast, and you just reinforced what we said, improvement is what you're looking for. So the next time you go on the court, whether it's at practice, tomorrow or Monday, whether it's the next game early next week, that's what you want to see is tonight's game against a quality basketball team. You want to see the improvement from your team.
Primarily growth is important, and I tell the team all the time, at the end of the day, the result is the result. However, even if we had won the game by 20 points, we would still have to focus on getting better and improving, because certainly you don't want to be the same team in February that you are in December. And sometimes the results tell on you. Sometimes you're able to get away with things. And like you said, when we had experienced guys last year, there were difficulties that we had, but fortunately we had the experience and the talent to overcome them. And sometimes the win is a nice cosmetic feature. But sometimes when you lose like this, you get exposed. But at the same time, the problems would have been there. The areas for improvement certainly would have been there. And, really that's what it's all about, because at the end of the day, the result is going to be what the result is. But then you have to go back to the drawing board and always get better. You want to get better each day. And obviously, we have a lot of opportunities for growth.
Well, good thing for us to take away as we close out this broadcast is, number one, it's early in the season. Number two, you get to play them again, and maybe we'll do a fair little better in a hostile environment. And number three, you're gonna have to coach this year. It's you got a big job ahead of you, and I wish you the best of luck, Coach Watkins. Always great to come here to Seminole Alley and have an opportunity to talk to you and watch the basketball team.
Yeah, and the one thing about it is, when you have games like this, the referees are a lot more patient with you. They let me get away with a lot more. So, I think if nothing else, it's
you didn't
a
get a tech.
No,
you didn't get a tech. That's all right, Coach.
But you could teach from the sideline, and you were doing that, and we wish you the best of luck as you continue on in the season.
Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate you a lot. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks then, right?
All right, we're in.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
That's it for tonight from the SCTV. Final score, the Pete Spartans from Lakewood High School 68 and the Southeast Seminoles 48. Greg, enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Thank you, sir.
We're signing off here tonight from John Harder Court in the Ben Buzz Narbert Gymnasium at Southeast High School. This is SETV, Southeast TV Production. Good night.